Mr. Thakkar, Mr. Dubash, Mr. Dhod, the other office bearers of Bombay Bar Association, my dear brothers and sisters. It's 5 p.m. I know today is Friday. Everybody is eager to go back and to have your, as usual, 2 holidays. So I won't take more than 10 minutes. A lot has been said by Mr. Thakkar about me. I don't know how far it's true. But I may tell you, I may honestly confess that yes, I have so many things in my mind at a given point of time. I always think that should I do this, should I do that, and I try my level best. Whatever endeavor I have been making in my life, right from my beginning. So I always try to see that whatever the goal I have set in my mind, that is achieved. I'll just briefly give not to something to praise me, but to the new generation of judges and lawyers. I had never dreamt of coming to this profession. It was not my dream at all. My father was a doctor in railway. So because of our frequent transfer across the country, he was a very strict man. He said that we'll put you in the school of that language where we was transferred. You have to study. If you fail, we'll kick him out. So perhaps because of that fear, I was rather constrained and forced to learn different languages, right from south to north. I was born on the day of Mahashivratri. This was the dream of my grandmother, who from her childhood dreamed that she was going to marry Shiva. And then she always used to say in her childhood that I am going to marry a Shiva. She was an illiterate lady. And but anyhow, then when she became, there were, my father had about 6 sisters, 3 brothers. When my father got married, I was born in Rajnandgaon, Chhattisgarh, then Madhya Pradesh. It was an auspicious day of Mahashivratri, of course. I was born at 8 a.m. There were no mobiles in those days. 6 in the morning, she woke up, had her bath and distributed sugar. मला नातू झाला, माझ्या घरी शंकर आले, माझ्या घरी शंकर आले. Everybody laughed, illiterate lady. She said, how do you know? She said, yesterday he came in my dream. He said that I am coming to your house on Mahashivratri. And around 10, my father sent the telegram in those days. So telegram issued around 10, 11. So everyone was surprised. But तुला कसं काय कळलं? त्यात काय नवीन आहे कळलं? So that is how she christened me as my name is Bhutnath. So till her last day she used to call me Bhutnath. Bhutnath is the name of Shiva, other name. And she said, you have this mark. This is the third eye of Shiva. This is my birth sign. So perhaps I am an atheist. Let me tell you very frankly. I don't believe in any God. Well, I have not seen any God. I believe in humanity. But I have a charm of catching snakes. I can even today go and catch any kind of either poisonous or non-poisonous snakes. So far I have, now forget, that is not the topic today, otherwise we will go on extending. So then I did my graduation in zoology. I wanted to become a doctor like my father. After 12 I got admission in Armed Forces Medical College, Pune. But my father was deadly against me joining as a medical profession because he had some bad experience in the railways. He said, you become an IAS or an IPS like this. I said, I don't want to become. So then ultimately I landed in this profession. After doing my BSc, I was a medical representative in Alembic for some time. Then I had my stint in Lupin Laboratories for some time. Then I joined as a APP, Notary Public, Sub-Registrar, Registrar of Giant Stock Companies and Jailer at the Union Territory of Diu, where I learnt Gujarati as well as bit Portuguese. I am not very fluent in Portuguese, but in those days, about 35 years back, I used to speak quite good Portuguese because as a Notary Public, I used to execute around 100 power of attorneys. In Portuguese language, they call it Instrumento de Procuração in Portuguese. That means power of attorney. So then one day I found that if I remained over here in this island of Diu and Daman, I will not be in a position to come out. So then I appeared for the exam of civil judge. I passed it. I joined judiciary. Judiciary is a very, it was not a cakewalk. As you know, in those days, salary was very less, around 2,000 per month, no house, no peons, no vehicles, no stenographers, no typist. You have to write everything with your hand, all judgments and everything. I'll just share one experience of my those days as a junior division lawyer. I was posted at Yavatmal. It was my first posting. The district judge gave me deputation at Pandarkauda. It's a remote place of Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra border, a Naxalite affected area. So after returning, during my return journey, there were no buses, there were no transport. So I was forced to use some private transportation, that is trucks and all this. So some trucks used to carry this buffaloes and cows to the butcher in Hyderabad. So then I used to ask the यवतमाल जाने का है, मेरे को बिठाओ. इधर सामने जगह नहीं है केबिन में, डाले में बैठो. डाला मीन्स द बैक साइड पोर्शन. सो डाले में बैठो तो डाले में बैठो. तो डाले में बैठो, white dress, civil judge, you are all labai pasta, everything, all buffaloes, cows, rains, mud, cow dung, buffalo, this, that. वो धूम मारते थे मुंह पे, गोबर, कीचड़. So 60 kilometers back to Yavatmal from Vani, from Pandarkauda, and again on the next day by bus Yavatmal. So these are how the days were. Apart from that, there were threats from Naxalites. If some matter is there, they used to give letters, postcards that will kill you. So those were the days. Then 2002, I became a district judge. For the first time, I was posted at Amravati, then at Bhandara, then at City Civil Court. Before that, I was registrar here in Vigilance. City Civil Court, I have had a very good experience of dealing with very sensitive matters. You must be knowing one of the matters under the MCOC is of Arun Gowli, the first Don, underworld Don, who has been convicted on the stringent provisions of Makoka. Before that, all Dons had either left this country or they are underground. Daud Ibrahim is not in this country. Chota Rajan is now undergoing some sentence. Chota Shekhar is somewhere else. The only Gowli who remained here as a Don, because he was an MLA of a ruling party in those days. So that is how, there were also threats in those days. I was asked to take some security or this thing, I refused flatly. Because if I take the security, I will be a sitting duck. So better not to take. You can fight anybody comes before you. Because death is the only truth. What Rajni said, the only certain thing is life is death. And what is uncertain is life. But nobody likes to talk about the certain thing which is death, which everybody has to face. Everybody is behind the uncertain thing that is life. So that's all. Then that is how then I was Chief Justice Small Causes Court. It was a wonderful experience to deal with the rent matters. Then I was transferred to Amravati, then I was transferred to Pune, then I was elevated to Goa. Goa, as Justice Mr. Thakkar has said, the then Chief Justice said that you are well versed with Portuguese language. I was not. I worked as a notary public 35 years back. But she has some misconception that you must be well versed in Portuguese. So Goa also I had a terrific experience. I dealt with one very sensitive matter where a British girl, a tourist, a teenager was raped and murdered by some locals. The accused were locals, everybody was local. The matter was investigated by CBI, but they were acquitted. CBI preferred appeal against the acquittal in the High Court, which was pending in the High Court for long. So some European countries raised a very strong objection with the Indian government that if this is your attitude, if you are not going to give justice to the foreigners, we will boycott your country. So immediately the things moved fast, perhaps from the Prime Minister's office. One fine morning, the prosecutor came from CBI. He said, sir, वो matter लेने का है. बोला लो, हम क्या तुमको लेना है तो तुम लो. That is how, and incidentally, Justice Dhanuka was sitting over there at that time, the then Chief Justice of High Court. He said, मेरे को brother ये हाला मैंने कभी किया नहीं. ये क्या मार काट खून वगैरह मैं मारवाड़ी आदमी हमने कभी किया नहीं, हम करेंगे इसको. बोला सर करेंगे. But when we started, when the matter, the counsel started arguing the matter, he was shocked. अरे मैं कभी जिंदगी में देखा नहीं है, वो पोस्टमार्टम किया, गाड़ा फिर निकाला फिर काटा, मेरे को रात को वही दिखता है. तो you give the judgment. So ultimately, apart from the lighter thing, I delivered the judgment. I remember the girl, mother of the victim girl called Fiona. She had been to Goa all the way from England to see the verdict because she was the lady who fought tooth and nail against the system in her country, in European Parliament. She has been to the London. She did everything, and all media also supported her there. So there were so many press media from foreign countries. They had been to Goa. And I delivered the judgment. She sought my permission to see me in the chamber for 1 or 2 minutes. I allowed her. Incidentally, Justice Dhanuka by that time came back to Bombay, so he was on VC at that time, and I was sitting over there. So she said that now we are feeling our full faith and trust in your judicial system because ultimately we got justice. You convicted, I reversed the acquittal and convicted one of the two accused. So I think the matter is now in Supreme Court. So if you feel good that yes, you not only our countrymen, but if you have the thing of pride that even the foreign media and the foreign citizens have some faith or trust in our judicial system. So apart from that, friends, I have my, just Thakkar has said, Mr. Thakkar, I have my passion for karate. I am a life member of Japan since last 40 years. And let me tell you, I am the only judge, in Japan there is not a single judge who has black belt. This is what confessed by the Chief Justice of Japan when she had been to India 3-4 years back. When I told her that I have a black belt from your country, she must have thought that hala Indian आदमी फेंक रहा है, झूठ बोलता है. Then I brought my original certificate from Japan. When I showed it, she was surprised. She said that there is not a judge in Japan who has black belt and who has been practicing for the last 35-40 years. I said it's my passion. That's why profession is one thing. This is my passion which I have been pursuing. So that's my passion. My other passion is music. I play mouth organ. One more passion is driving. I like long drives. My other passion is forensic ballistics. Is also my passion. I am keenly interested in all the ballistics, the firearms being used across the globe by various defense personnel and the terrorists. So recently, sometimes if a army man comes to the court, I ask him why AK-47 is the most favorite weapon of the terrorists. He said, yeah, it's very good, this fire very rapidly. I said, everything is okay. There are thousands of weapons in the world, but why AK? What we call it Kalishk now, invented by one Russian. The only simple answer is the metallurgy of Kalishkanov, that is AK-47, AK-56 or AK-72. If you keep AK-47 in the mud for 6 months, you remove it, you clean it, you cock it, it will fire. No other weapon will be had different because the metallurgy is very special. Therefore, it's the favorite weapon of the terrorist. Apart from its rapid fire, small in size, you can conceal it anywhere. So that is also a passion. So coming back to the topic now, I have consumed 10 minutes which I have promised. It's a very excellent and very, I don't have words to say, the diligence, the sincerity and the intellectual rigor of this bar is beyond doubt. I learned a lot from you. See, as a student of law, throughout my life, but with the contribution of the bar is immense. Not only this bar, but the bar of Goa High Court. So I always be so thankful to you, and I again wish you all a very happy, robust future. Let all your dreams come true. And before concluding my speech, I am reminded of the famous lines of the well-known poet Robert Frost, that woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, Thank you very much.